Alright, Mr. Beast is being attacked, man. There's a lot of people trying to expose Mr. Beast. Well, actually, it was one guy exposing Mr. Beast, and then this one thing led to another thing, and then this leads to another thing. There's Rosanna Pansino. Me, personally, I'm someone who likes Mr. Beast's content, and when I see all these exposed videos on this guy, I feel kind of compelled to see it, because if they happen to be wrong, I just want to see them go down. So I kind of feel compelled to poke back. So there's a guy by the name of Weddle. I remember seeing him in like 2 Mr. Beast videos, a bunch of hide and seek videos, and he's been speaking out about Mr. Beast. And I'm gonna see it right here. Okay, so I'm watching Weddle's video. The real reason I left Mr. Beast bigger, longer, uncut. So this is like a sequel to Doug Pack's video, sort of spin-off sequel, and
I called my buddy. Let's say his name is Mark. And then my buddy my friend Mark, his name is Mark. I know a lot of the law enforcement in Greenville. A lot of them are working right now for one guy because they allegedly have, insider information from allegedly, the inside of some alleged entity. Can you tell
What the fuck is he talking about?
This video is about nothing.
What the fuck is he talking about?
All right. A lot of people don't come forward about stuff, wherever they work. Maybe if I'm nice publicly, I'll have a chance to come back and do another thing for money, whether that's
He pretended to be nice or chill with him so he can hopefully get hired again.
and that's kind of a weird system to have when someone is in a position where they can't say no financially. Their career and life, their ability to eat, depends on making somebody else who has money and power happy.
Okay, 2 things. I can relate to the feeling of like I don't feel like I can say no because I really need a job and I don't know if I'll secure another job or at least a job that is not securing. But 2, at this point, he's been so vague for a very long time. It comes off as super performative to me, so it comes off as a speech to me. And this is where my trust goes down, Maybe that's just a personal thing. What he says is relatable, understandable, but it comes off as very performative, though, as if it's targeted to I just trust it less now.
It's not a choice, especially when you put a camera in their face either, hypothetically. If it was a really good deed, I don't think anybody would know about it.
Okay, he's being very abstract. I just wish that he just says outright what he wants to say, like that he says like clearly, without like the visual stuff, without like needing to sound beautiful. Just say, hey, I really didn't like this shit because of A, B, and C. Hey, I really didn't like this shit. It's like he's just trying to be performative or poetic and all that.
Here's a game. Donate to the link in my chat and don't say anything. Don't talk about it. Don't film yourself doing it. Just do it. Just do it because it's the right thing to do.
It feels like he wants to give himself positivity shit, like boost of positivity before he's about to say something really, again, performative and negative.
I would like to be myself. I would like to be honest. I would like to tell people what I knew, what I know, when I knew it. And I want to tell people what Jimmy's really like.
You better be right. You better be right if you're gonna go attack someone publicly like this.
But real quick before I do that, I want to talk about this.
It feels like this video has like 4 intros. Why is he dragging it on? What's the purpose?
I said, then why is it wrapped like that, silly goose? You can look back at my old videos and it was up, and I haven't had it up in a while, but...
What the fuck is going on, man?
I was the precursor, I was the test bunny, I wasn't supposed to be, and I was supposed to get a lot more money than I did, and I wasn't supposed to get hurt. Another thing that's true is there were 2 other influencers there who saw me. Carl, somebody who rose to the top at Beast. Interesting.
Why interesting? Is there something suspicious? Was Carl a victim of like like is this like some Hollywood comparison? Was Carl a victim?
I was supposed to be the 4th banana. Supposed to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me. These are conversations I had that I was in the writer's room, and I was like, when do I get some screen time? And I never did because I didn't agree with everything.
So he's saying that he was supposed to be like another main character in the Mr. Beast crew, but he didn't because he didn't agree with everything. This is vague. What does it mean didn't agree with everything? So it's like saying if you want to move up in the Mr. Beast crew, you have to be submissive. Like that's like the best charitable thing to say. That's what he's saying. He doesn't give examples of what was he disagreeing with. Because imagine you take the worst case scenario, right? You take someone who's just problematic and is just being like an obstacle at every turn, right? So then you're like, fuck that guy, man. We can't move anywhere with this. Or he's just slowing us down, okay? Well, because he doesn't give examples of what he's not agreeing with, I can't really take away anything specific, really. I can't just blindly accept that his interpretation is the absolute truth, right? If he doesn't give examples of what did he not agree with. Was there like fucked up stuff he did not agree with? Like, I have no way to quantify it or to measure it.
I didn't like the content. I kind of thought a lot of people were assholes.
Okay.
Not even like a weird, like, Discord chat way. You know, just like a, oh, that's a banger, dude. Oh, that's a fuck. You know what I mean? That's not my vibe. I don't like,
What?
backwards hat skateboarding motherfuckers getting a lot of money and being praised like they were geniuses.
What does that mean?
I kind of thought a lot of people were assholes.
I think people are assholes too. I definitely hate people for being assholes. But if you're not saying how are they assholes, like what exactly did they do? How am I supposed to accept this public attack as something that's justified or legitimate, right? Like what did they do that bothered you so much? You know, if you're going to attack Mr. Beast publicly like this, you need to make people dislike Mr. Beast. And so far, all I'm getting is just vague shit, man. It's basically just, oh, I just don't like the guy. That's what I'm getting so far. He's supposed to be one of the main characters, but yet he dislikes a lot of them. He dislikes some of the content. He thinks they're assholes. So already what he's describing as if he doesn't really matches up with them or doesn't match us up with their vibe. So there's nothing that's not right here.
And I was like, when do I get some screen time? And I never did because I
never did, but it's not like, oh, I just never got screen time. He said I never did because
didn't agree with everything.
Didn't agree with everything. And then
A lot of people were assholes. I didn't like the content.
I didn't like the content. So far, Mr. Beast's character has been saying that you have to be brutally honest with each other. Like, you have to be open with criticism. So, if Mr. Beast had a problem with him criticizing the content, constructive criticism, then that would be bad on Mr. Beast's part, right?
I kind of thought a lot of people were assholes.
I kind of thought a lot of people were assholes. So I can already feel the distancing here that he expects to, like, be a major part of. But if there was an agreement of something, I guess it will still be shittier.
Not even like a weird, like, Discord chat way. You know, just like a, oh, that's a banger, dude. Oh,
That justification, I don't know what that means.
backwards hat skateboarding motherfuckers.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
No harm, no foul. And also no harm, no foul to the Carl's friend either. You guys are fine. I just would appreciate it if you acknowledge that you were there and you saw me there. That's all. I mean, I have an image of me there. There I am. I'd be really crazy for me to fake that. That's a picture of me at a set I didn't build. A bunch of really hard-working people that get no credit built that set. Other things.
Okay, so it seems like a lot of envy is going on here, but he's not saying anything specific. He's not saying like, I have a problem with Mr. Beast because A, B, C, and D. I dislike this guy. They're assholes because of A, B, and C, and D. This seems just a rant. This seems like a video not destined for an audience, but destined for Mr. Beast or the Mr. Beast crew. This is like a video of like everything that I wanted to say, but I didn't say. That's how it comes off so far.
I know to be true. A lot of people there thought we should have pulled the plug a lot sooner. A lot of people spoke up about getting me out. And I know this to be true. I wanted to get out sooner than I was allotted.
So he wanted to get out of a video a lot sooner. He didn't. Did he have a choice?
They should have the footage. A useful idiot told me it is in some servers.
A useful idiot? So it is clear to establish he just doesn't likes the Mr. Beast crew. Reasons, vague, he doesn't vibes with them. I mean, again, he's just spewing attacks, man. He's just being confrontational, but in a way that the audience, or at least me, who's trying to like find a reason to dislike Mr. Beast, doesn't really seize one, really, except that this guy just doesn't like Mr. Beast and find that they were being assholes. And he said that you have to agree with everything. But he says that he disagrees with a lot of stuff. And the examples he gave is like pet content. And because most of these people were assholes. I don't know what I'm supposed to take from this. Except that he just doesn't like the Mr.Beast crew. The video is titled The Real Reason I Left Mr.Beast. It doesn't give me any specific reasons except that he doesn't like them. And because he doesn't seem to agree with their content, he hasn't appeared as much. But the one time that he appeared, he believes that he should have been taken out way faster than he was.
Dogpad was talking about mind control, and when I was first watching the doc, I was like, what do you... I mean, it's just what commercials do. It's just what advertising does, but yeah, that's also bad. Like,
what? Oh, that's another topic, man. Like, I don't know. I'll just ignore that. I probably have something to say about it, but I'll just ignore it because that sounds like a separate point.
And our phones are drugs. Like our phones are like the.
So now it seems not to be an attack on Mr.Beast, but just marketing strategies and on the technological evolution of things and the value that technology has taken now.
Yeah, if you didn't kiss the ring, you'd lose your career. And even if you kissed all the rings, you're still in the out group because maybe you're just... I don't know.
He keeps it all vague, right? Probably he tries to avoid trouble. Like he... Basically, now that I'm thinking, this entire video, probably because he wants to avoid trouble, is gonna sound vague. So I'm assuming that he's saying that Mr.Beast, you had to comply, you have to be an ass kisser. And of course, this place sucks. I hate this. I hate this kind of setting. However, I do not know how this applies. One, Mr.Beast is a YouTuber. Usually YouTubers, they have like a smaller team, right? If they're small, but Mr.Beast is a huge YouTuber. So Mr.Beast is like a legit employer. Like from one side, when you're entering like a YouTube squad, you have to kind of fit in, right? But from what he's saying, he doesn't really fit in with them or he has issues with them. However, at the same time, Mr.Beast has a ton of employees. I don't know if it was this case at that time. It's like a literal job, right? So this is where it's normal and it sucks, basically.
I was planting seeds, fellas. I had to be very careful about what I said publicly because I wanted to have a career. But I let some seeds drop.
So yeah, he's saying that he had to like put on a fake persona. He had to put on a fake persona in order to not get fired. And you need a job, you need money, right?
Okay, put a finger down if last year you were in a Mr.Beast challenge that never came out, but it's okay because you got paid anyway. But then this year when you tried to do your taxes were a nightmare. Tens of thousands of dollars in taxes, and it's more expensive because you just didn't know what you were doing and no one was really helpful.
What?
If last year you were in a Mr.Beast challenge that never came out, but it's okay because you got paid anyway. And you got paid a lot.
Okay, so he got paid a lot. So does he has a problem with the fact that the video never came out? Or at first, the first time I heard this, I felt like he has a grudge that the video never came out. Then he also said that the video is not good, it had to be scrapped. I'm not sure if he was just citing them or if he was just saying it from his own opinion. But he got paid anyway.
Tens of thousands of dollars in taxes, and it's more expensive because you just didn't know what you were doing and no one was really helpful.
Is that a Mr.Beast problem?
I was told by the man in charge that this is just payment for the challenge. Because I was in there for 11 days, and I did some challenges, so I got a good chunk of change, and I was told it was because that's what I had completed up to that point.
Yeah?
And that is true. If they're doing a deep dive on my financials, I'm broke, fellas.
What the fuck is going on here?
Somebody were to hire people to dig up dirt on other people for the purpose of defaming them, so they seem less credible. Hypothetically. Did they offer me $100,000? Yes, indeed. Did I...
Why is that transition? The fuck is going on? Okay, so he's basically saying that the money that he got after for doing the video, the fact that he got paid can be used to discredit him, like right now, basically.
Was it under the assumption of shush money? No, of course. They would never...
So that's what he's saying, that the money that he got, which they say is for winning challenges, is more used in order to silence him and in order to discredit him for if he comes out and says that there are issues with the company. That's such a large stretch. We've seen Mr.Beast offer money to people in videos if they succeed challenges. So why would I believe that it's for any other reason than because they have won some challenges?
That this is just payment for the challenge. Because I was in there for 11 days.
Well, was the challenge tough? Why would he not deserve money?
I got a good chunk of change, and I was told it was because that's what I had completed up to that point.
Is it unbelievable? Like, what's the... I mean, he doesn't believe it. He believes that it's more restricting to him, the fact that he won money from it. But, like, other than that, it's what they're saying is also believable because that's what they've been doing. They've been paying money. And they even announce it. If you do this challenge, you're gonna win this amount of money. They even usually transparent about it.
Gender's a spectrum, and I'm spinning the wheel, baby. At least anybody I'm talking to, like, can go see Deadpool without their mom, you know? You must be this tall to ride, and by this tall, I mean ID. It's got to be way above 18.
What the fuck is going on?
I didn't do this for money. I didn't do this for fame.
He's talking about the video now. So he's doing this out of a honorable cause.
I actually, I held my tongue for a long time, and once I found out some new information, that changed the equation. So
What changed? What new information? Oh, that all the other things that's being said about Mr.Beast. So he's basically, there's things that he was thinking about Mr.Beast, but he didn't feel safe or that he was wise to express it. But now that there are other people exposing Mr.Beast, other or one person, now he's like, okay, well, I'm safe to express them now.
everybody loved my dad. Everybody thought he was the coolest, nicest guy in the world, you know?
Okay, so maybe he's just saying this anecdote just to say this anecdote, but he's saying this in a Mr.Beast video. So is he trying to do the comparison of like, everybody likes Mr.Beast, but there was hidden stuff that people didn't know about Mr.Beast?
And it wasn't until, news broke that he did something bad to a kid that people, started changing their attitude. And
So what I'm taking is we should change our attitudes about Mr.Beast because he's saying that there's some skeletons in his closet. There are other people exposing him. He didn't feel safe exposing him, but now that there are other people exposing him, it's like the opportune time. It's the right time. It's like the Lord of the Rings, Siege the Towers.
just seemed like a relevant story, I guess.
It's a comparison.
Mom, can you do me a favor?
I can try.
Do you remember when I came home from that challenge I talked about on that documentary?
Yes.
Describe my physical and emotional state.
Oh my god.
So now he's using a witness to try to communicate how the game can potentially be dangerous or have been dangerous to someone.
You did not sound like yourself, and you were talking about how your feet were bloody and blistered and you could barely walk. I think it was days before you could actually walk like a human.
I wonder what the challenge was.
And you were psychologically struggling. I remember you talking about how
Did this happen right after the challenge? Because I assume it's very normal. I don't mean the physical injuries, but like the psychological stuff. I assume that after doing a hard challenge, you're gonna take a toll on that. You will need to recuperate. Especially from Mr.Beast, From Mr.Beast, it's not a cakewalk challenge. Never from watching Mr.Beast challenges did I think, oh shit, that thing is easy. Actually, I think I would fail most of them. Like, there's no way that I think that Mr.Beast's challenges are easy at all. They're extreme. And people who do Windows challenges, man, props to them. Expect the emotional part to be normal.
sound would never stop, and it was like screwing with your head, and the lights, they wouldn't turn off, and the ice cream machine smelled like sour milk, so you couldn't escape the smell, the sound, the light, like pretty much all of the things that you would do to like torture somebody. And
So in the challenge, his senses were invaded. He couldn't sleep.
you woke up that day and they said you were going to run a marathon, and you didn't have shoes, number one.
Alright, I kind of heard that marathon part. I have to say, man, it's fucking wild if someone would tell you, like, hey, just as a normal, shitty little challenge, run a marathon. Like, that's kind of like, what?
They were, kind of dangling more prize money in front of your face and telling you to walk on the treadmill.
Dangling the prize money in front of your face. I don't know how I feel about this. I had a thought, but then it left. Like, I don't know if this is something that they do specifically for him to tell him, yeah, fuck you, right? Or in some kind of like immoral way. Like Jimmy would come out and be like, hey, wonder what's in this bag? And her saying, dangling the money in front of you. Like, it gives the image that he's being treated like a dog. But this could also be just a way of speech, like the dangling the money in front of you. Like, at first, that's the negative impression I had, that he was being treated like a dog. But then I'm like, I don't know, like, if this is just like a speech thing, and that Jimmy was just basically like in every video, when he visits the contestant, he comes out and he's like, hey, here's the bag of money. And what I'm getting is that the marathon was obligated, right? They were pressuring him to do a marathon. The way things are being said here, it's as if he had to run the marathon. I don't know. But it is a wild challenge to me.
Your feet were literally bloody. Said they were going to get you medical help and they didn't really. I just know that you kept saying how you couldn't sleep.
We know that Mr. Beast in his challenges, or the contestants, sometimes they struggle to sleep, or sometimes they have to not sleep, because if they just fall asleep, they can lose the challenge instantly, right? Sometimes it's a choice they have to make to sacrifice sleep. Just something to consider, you know? But of course, not being able to sleep at all, that's another thing.
The lights never fucking went off. Like, never, not one time.
I wonder if in the other confinement videos of Mr. Beast, if they ever have the lights turn off, like, at all. Like, I know Mr. Beast did another, like, kind of like an asylum kind of video. And I'm just wondering if at any point did it turn off? Did they manage to sleep? It's important to compare, you know? It's important to compare to know that if some people can find it manageable. Because we're trying to determine how extreme that video is, that video that we can't even see.
Sound was always there and the smell was always there. And
But they're talking about smell, so it's like, it's not only the lights, it's smell. Sound, maybe?
and that you wanted to come out long before they actually said, okay, fine, whatever.
What?
And that you wanted to come out long before they actually said, okay, fine, whatever.
What does
That's
that
what
mean?
I remember.
Mom, I asked you one question and you just went on and on and on.
I have to say, man, this is a good segment. Like, I'm not saying like in terms of like how good of a criticism this is. This is a good segment of where this guy is not talking at all. He's reacting himself to what a witness, or rather, she wasn't there. Oh, someone else took the information of what he went through. So you can see on his face how he himself is like, oh shit. Like, I think this is like a good or a clever segment, you know? Because you cannot say that he's lying. That's literally someone else saying, someone else describing. Like, he's not even describing his experience. She's the one that's describing how he communicated his experience. Maybe he has even forgotten some details, but to have it come from someone else.
And for you to even feel like you wanted to talk to humans again.
Yeah.
Talk to humans again, that's kind of normal. It's a challenge. Just doing a Mr. Beast challenge is isolative in itself.
Oh, no. Everyone told me to do the bad thing. And everyone told me to be quiet about the bad things.
Told you to be quiet about the bad things. I'm curious about that.
I've talked to other people. It's pretty close to kidnapping when they start to not let you leave.
Just like that sounds like exaggeration to me. Because it's not like they won't let you out. So did they really not let you out? Did you really had no options to get out of there? Like, were you kept hostage? That's what it sounds like when she says you got kidnapped. The kidnapping sounds ridiculous because he worked there. So they felt like he got screwed over, right? Hey, yo, wanna partake in the video? Yeah. Oh shit, let me out, man. I didn't know this is what it would be. This is basically it comes out when they're saying kidnapped. But the thing is, did he really have no option out? Or is it like one of the things that he was saying at the start that he felt like he needed to keep going?
Hey, whoa.
No, but when you say you want to be done and then you can't be done,
Is that what happened?
that means you're being held against your will. I mean,
Would be, but is that what happened?
that's the definition, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a cut here. So the question is that what happened? Did he say at some point, I want out, I can't go on? And they said, no, we keep going? Or what happened is he said, I want out. And then they said, so are you ready to leave all this money behind? Which is what they're doing in all the videos, right? Like, this is how Mr. Beast phrases things. When someone is like, has a decision to make, Mr. Beast will always repeat the stakes. So did he feel like he had no choice because Mr. Beast was repeating the stakes to him, saying, do you really want to go and leave this money behind? Does that make him feel obliged to stay? Like, if he said no, and Jimmy says, so you're leaving this money behind? And if he says, yeah, that's right, would he be able to leave then? Like, was that an option? That's what I'm wondering.
You hear that? You're gonna get a post from my grandma telling you that I'm not a liar. Okay?
Well, the thing is, you're not a liar necessarily. It's again the exaggeration part that I'm wondering, that I'm curious about. Are the things that are being said justifiable? Are the things being said, are they just like personal feelings or personal struggles, personal grudges? Are they being said because they're personal grudges?
All of my coworkers were eagerly awaiting the news, and they were horrified.
It could also be how he's delivering the news, how he's delivering, versus if another competitor was there, you know? Like, there's all these factors to come in mind. But now the issue is not necessarily if he's a liar or not. Like, well, like, what he feels, like, it is believable that he felt the way he felt. But now what it comes down to, it's like, when he says he had no option, it's not necessarily that he's lying. Maybe he felt like he had no option, but did he actually had no option? Or was it the ego? Was it like when they were saying, yeah, oh, are you leaving this money behind? And he was like, no. Like, all these factors, you know? And would someone else in his shoes be able to go through it? Like, there's these factors that I'm considering now. So that was the real reason I left Mr. Beast by Jack Weddle.